Hi, I'm Donna with Donna's Things. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for taking the time, joining in, checking out what's going on this side of the camera. I really do appreciate it. Of course, if you are returning, you know my heart. I appreciate you and your time also. So, happy Sunday. Today is Sunday. I just came out of worship and this is a great day. I am here because I want to do part one of my two-part series. I get a lot of questions, which of course I do my best to answer, on the channel regarding the way that I do things. Not a lot, but enough to make this video. And I know my room always looks clean. It's, you know, my garments always come out really, really nice. But let me tell you, it gets a little rough in here sometime. I don't film everything. I don't talk a lot about the problem I had making so-and-so or whatever. But the reality of it is sometimes it just doesn't go right. Now, I'm going to be honest, that's not often. However, sometimes it just doesn't go right. And so I just want to share a few things with you and talk a little bit about what goes on in this sewing room. Now, I don't show everything that I make because it's nothing for me to feel like I want to wear something the next day or I'm going somewhere and I'm like, oh, I feel like a new top. And I'll get up in the morning or it might be late at night and I go ahead and make that top. It's really no big deal. I think the content that I show you, most of it is things that I think the many of you who constantly watch my channel or like behavior that watches my channel. Was behavior not the right word? I'm sorry. Like enjoyment, like style. I'm sorry. You know, would like to make and can see how simple it is, especially since I am a fabric lover. My thing is going to buy the fabric. But let me first let you know, I come from a family of sewers. The women in my family sew. My parents had 5 daughters, and all of us knew what to do with a needle and thread. My aunts sewed, my grandmother sewed, so it was nothing for us not to know how to sew. However, I am the one that developed such a great passion for it and have been doing it pretty much all of my life. And so I sew, you know, we went from getting up in the morning, making something to wear to school that same day, to making prom dresses, to making wedding dresses or bridesmaids dresses or fixing them for someone, you know, just all of that. And then I can go years without sewing for anybody, definitely not everyday, daily sewing for myself, but just, you know, I never stopped, but I didn't constantly, you know, 40 years. I haven't spent 40, 50 years constantly sewing. But one thing about it is that once you really know how to sew, you don't really lose those skills. It's like getting on a bike. You know how to ride a bike, but you haven't done it in a while, so you got to get back on. You got to get comfortable. You have to get adjusted, and then you just dive right back in. Well, that's kind of what happens when you are sewing. So I have been sewing a very long time. I do know how to make lots and lots and lots of different things. But just because of that, oh yes, I make mistakes. Sometimes they can be corrected. Sometimes it's like, this is just going to be a fail. I'm not going to do anything with it. But I love fabric. So a large part of my joy in sewing is going to buy the fabric. Now, you hear me say I shop for fabric every Wednesday. I do. I don't keep a large stash. So when I decide I want to make something, or if I'm watching a video or something and I be like, oh, I want to make that, like at least 80% of the time, I have to go and buy the fabric. And that's because I don't keep a lot of fabric. I love to think of the project, go in the store, touchy-feely, look at all those beautiful colors, even though I don't wear all those beautiful colors, but I love the excitement of them. And then I go and choose what I want. Sometimes, because I shop every Wednesday. Now, disclaimer, I do shop every Wednesday. I mean, I might miss one if I have something else to do. But that's because two things. One is my fabric store, Fabric Hut, runs a sale every Wednesday. Buy a yard, second yard is half off. So to me, if you know you're going to buy fabric, why wouldn't you just go ahead and take advantage of the sale? It's not so much about the price, it's just the budget. And that's the second thing. I have a monthly budget. I really don't break that budget. So I spread it out because I know that in a month's time, I'm going to want to go to the store several times. Another way I choose what I want is I'm in the store. I may not have a project in mind on that Wednesday when I go in there, but I see such beautiful fabric. So I buy the fabric. I get a certain amount of yardage, 58 inch, 60 inch fabric. With 2 yards, you pretty much can make something. You know that 2.5 yards, or for me, you're going to get a jacket and a skirt, or a jacket and a pair of pants. It's so many things in your mind. How much yardage it takes for a simple dress, how much yardage it takes for a pair of pants, how much yardage it takes for a suit. You know that. So even if you're going to buy fabric just because you like it, you know how much you can get. And if I get home and decide I want to make something else, it's, oh, well, you didn't buy enough fabric. Or if I really, really want it, I can go back and get the fabric. So that's why I'm there every Wednesday. But like I said, if you see my channel, this bin right here, this one cubby holds what I'm working on now. And then over here, my credenza is not very big. It holds my fabric stash. I don't really have fabric. I have some wools, some really special wools that I keep somewhere different. I keep it wrapped in paper, and in a like a chest type thing, but they're very, very, very good wools, and I don't want them to get messed up, so I keep them like that. However, I have sewn garments that the zipper didn't go in right. I take it loose and put it back in. I have sewn garments that seemed like they were fitting along the way, and maybe the waist felt a little big when I tried it on, and so I take it in, put on the waistband, only to find out that that was not a smart move, because now it's too tight, especially those yoke waistbands, because the bottom of that pattern piece is wider, because you're wider here than you are in the waist. And sometimes I would go by that bottom piece thinking that I'm okay with the top piece, when I really should have given myself that extra inch or half inch, whatever it might be. So yes, I make mistakes. Yes, my room gets tore up. I have carpet on my floor because I took a bedroom and made my sewing room out of it. So my husband and I have been thinking about changing our flooring, but we've definitely been looking for something that I could put down on this floor, because your threads get all in the in the fibers of the carpet, and even though you vacuum it, it's not the same. So I am definitely looking forward to choosing that. But that only means that I pretty much have to vacuum my floor, if not every make, then at least after the second one, because there are threads. I'm sitting here. Over here is my ironing station. Here's my cutting station, and in front of me are where my machine and my serger is. So you figure I'm over here at the machine, I'm getting up to come over here to iron, or I'm cutting and I'm going over here to the machine. So there are definitely threads on the floor. Chaos drives me crazy. It is just what it is. So yeah, I do clean my room every night, even if I don't vacuum until the next day. My station, my ironing station, my cutting station, all of that is cleaned up. My patterns are put away, but that's just habit of mine in the way I clean and store things. Now, my family uses my ironing station. We do have an ironing board. Depending on what I'm making, I have to use my ironing board, but everything for ironing is right here. So my family will come in here and use this to iron their clothes, or if they need the ironing board, of course, they put it up, because I do keep the ironing board in the linen closet. Now, I probably could have kept it behind my door, but I always end up with the clothes that I make that I'm planning to give away behind the door. The other thing, I give away a lot of things. So sewing is just a joy for me. It's a love for me. It's a passion for me. I see it and I like the challenge. I'm like, ooh, I bet I can make that. And I will get fabric and go ahead and make it. Now, I do make everything in my size, because I might decide to wear it. The whole idea really is to wear it. But if I find that it doesn't work, I know several different people that are in my size range. So my clothing does not go to waste. And I have sharpened my skills. I have picked up a new technique. I have stopped doing something the way that I do it, because the other thing about me is I take the long way around for everything. I'm going to be showing you in my not this video. In one of my videos, I'm going to be showing you a simple dress that had 4 pattern pieces: a front, a back, a face in front, and a face in back. And I don't know what was on my mind, but the dress is absolutely darling. However, why it took me forever to do it, I don't know. Instead of just doing the simple thing that the guide sheet tells you to do, I'm finding other ways to do it, which inevitably means you're going to have to do this, or you're going to have to do this. But, I'm a glutton for it. I do it all of the time. I don't batch cut. I want to, but I don't know. I don't know why I don't do it. I want to, because when I see others do it, it makes sense to me, but it's not my habit to do that. It's not my way. I enjoy the process. So I want to lay it out, the fabric. I want to see it. you know, and I just want to imagine what it's going to do. To take the yardage of material. Let me find a piece. Do I have any of what I got on now? Let's see. To take a yardage of fabric, you've got your fabric, and you know, this is what I'm wearing today. You've got your fabric and you're looking at it, it's laid out on your table, and you're just seeing, you know, the pattern and what it's going to look like. And then when you have certain things like your collar or that button placket or maybe your ruffle, and your fabric has design in it, you're looking at if you're able to get the center of that collar right at the center of that design, or you know, your sleeve is going to end at this point, and are you able to get what kind of looks like a border? It's not border fabric, but that one little row of flowers that runs straight across there. Can I fit my sleeve pattern piece on there so that when I hem it up, I have that border? See, I look at all of that when I'm sewing, and I imagine you do too. So it takes me a while. I lay it out, I get it cut, and once it's cut, I sew it. Sometimes in my excitement, I lay it out and I want to see what that bottom is going to look like. I will lay it out. I will cut the pieces just for the bottom, and I will go and make the bottom, and it's like, oh my God, this is going to be so nice. And then I come back and cut the rest. It takes a lot of time, but I'm not in a hurry. Who really cares? I am enjoying the process. And that's what goes on in here in this sewing room. I sew pretty much every day. Well, I don't sew on Saturdays, and basically not on Sundays. That's family time, that's home time. If I am going to sew, it might be on Sunday, a little bit in the evening after dinner. I might do that. I will sew Monday through Friday, especially if I have some things that I want to finish up. But even in that, I'm starting to kind of wean myself down to maybe 4 days instead of 5, or 3 days and then sporadic the other 2 days. So some of my habits are changing, and that's because, you know, I have to be wise about how I do things. But I have been sewing a very long time. I'm thankful to my family for, you know, the skill, and I'm thankful to God for the gift. Now, before I go, let me show you what I have on with my knees hanging out. Give me one moment. I need to get the pattern. Okay, I hope you can see it good. The bottom is just the bottom. But this is my dress. This is a skirt. It does have a seam right here with an extra piece. So you had your front of your skirt, a little bit of a side front. The back is just all one piece. There is elastic in the waist. I'm wearing a belt with it right now, but let me show you. If I can get this belt off. I found yesterday that I need to buy some belts. There is the elastic casing on the inside. On the waist, you got this ruffle. That's just from here to here. Here's the back, and then the flutter type sleeve. This is a cotton fabric. I showed it in one of my fabric hauls. It's a Northcott, and the design, the print, it's beautiful, right? The print is Midas Touch. I'm wearing a bracelet, a necklace, and matching earrings. Oh, and the watch. This was a Mother's Day gift to me from a young lady. She's like my niece, And today when I was getting dressed, I was like, perfect. I don't always wear short dresses, but this one came out this way, so I love it. This is McCall's 7970. It's pretty much this version, right? Well, no, it's not. It has the ruffle here and this sleeve. There is a ruffle that goes down there, but I didn't put it. So, love it. If you need to know, this is a size 14, so it's pretty nice. I do have a pin right here. I should put a snap or something, but I do have a pin right here so that this doesn't open up, even though it comes over far enough because it's inside over to here. But, you know, it'll still open up and I want it closed. So that's what I am wearing today for this Sunday. So thank you for your time. I really, really appreciate you watching. Immediately following this video, I will post Tuesday's video. So I'm making this one, then I have the Tuesday video, which is part 2, which you'll be able to pull them both up on Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.